everyone, welcome or welcome back to my channel. Today I am here with my autumn/fall TBR. It's quite ambitious. Am I actually going to be able to read all these books? Unsure. A lot of these might end up going into the winter, but these are all the books that, for various reasons that I'll get into, I want to read in this season. So I'm going to start with physical books, and then after I've done all the physical ones, I'll go into the list of Kindle books that I want to read. Basically, every time it comes around to autumn or fall, as with a lot of readers, I get into a fantasy mood. So we're going to start with the fantasy stack. First book on my fantasy fall TBR is The Bright and the Pale. This is one that if I'm struggling with this TBR, I'll push this to winter, because it is about like ice. And that's all I really know. So this one I might read more towards the end of the autumn, beginning of winter. But this is on my list of books that I kind of need to read before the end of the year. I've owned this now for a long time and I just need to get to it. So yeah, this is going to be like a late autumn, beginning of winter read. The next fantasy book is The Prisoner's Throne by Holly Black. This is the second book in the Stolen Air duet. I think it's only going to be a duet. I hope so, because I didn't really like the first one. But I love this world. I am completely and utterly in love with the Cruel Prince trilogy. And the reason I didn't like, what's it called? I've literally just said it. Is that The Stolen Air? The reason I didn't like The Stolen Air was just because of the plot. I didn't like that they were on a journey for most of the book. I've come to understand that I don't love fantasies where they spend the whole time on a journey. So I'm hoping in this one we'll settle down a bit and we'll actually get to know like new parts of the world in more depth. Because I felt like in the first book we just spent like 80% of the book in a forest and they just kept talking about moss and it wasn't very exciting. So yeah, I have an audio book of this coming in from the library in like early November, which is kind of obviously on the brink between autumn and winter. So again, this is going to be a bit more towards the end of autumn. But I am excited. I'm apprehensive, but I am excited to see what Holly Black does. I've heard a lot of people complain that they didn't love this book because she catered to the people that just wanted another Cruel Prince. Well, I want another Cruel Prince, so I might actually like this. Right, the next one. I hated the first book. What is this even called? Days of Blood and Starlight. What was the first one called? Where is it? Daughter of Smoke and Bone, that's it. Really didn't like that book, but stupidly bought the whole series before reading the first one. So now I feel like I have to at least give the second one a try. I think this focuses on like more, I think it's about the same people, but it kind of focuses more equally on some side characters from the first book. I might be wrong, but that's the vibe I get from this one. So I might not hate it as much, but I don't have high hopes because I didn't like the characters in the first book. I thought the romance was weird. I just didn't love it. The world is interesting, but it just depends how much are we actually going to focus on the world and keep away from the romance, which usually I would never ask for that. I am a romance girl through and through, but I don't like the romance in the first book. So we'll give it a go and we'll see. I feel like I've not been very excited about some of these books. I promise there are some books on this TBR that I am like absolutely chomping at the bit to read that I'm so excited about. But just because it's getting towards the end of the year, I am having to try a lot of books that I've owned for a long time, because I don't know if any of you've seen, I'm sure, I don't know when I uploaded the video. I uploaded a video of all the books that I need to read before the end of the year, or else I'm unhauling them. So there's quite a lot of books now that I'm needing to try, or else they're going to get unhauled without me even reading a page of them. But yeah, there are so many books on here that I'm so excited about. I'm not going through what all these books are about in this video, by the way, or else we'd be here all day. I need to get a move on because we've still got so many books to talk about. Shielded, I have no idea what this is about, but again, I've owned it for a really long time, and because this is the time of the year where I'm actually interested in fantasy, I might as well give it a go. Same with the next one, Forest of Souls. It's got like, it just looks very October, so I'll probably read this one in October. Don't know what it's about, but I am quite excited. It is giving like slightly spooky fantasy vibes, so excited about that. Guess what? Don't know what it's about. Fire with Fire. Owned it for a long time. I got all of these in like a Fairy Loot bundle, not from Fairy Loot, I bought them secondhand. So I got all of these at the same time and just never read them. I kind of can't lie, I bought them because they were like pretty. But the time has come that we actually need to read some of these, so Fire with Fire. And then the last fantasy book that I've got a physical copy of is Swordcatcher. Look at the size of it, by Cassandra Clare. So I haven't read all of Cassandra Clare's other books. I've read the first 2 books in a massive Shadowhunters universe. I do want to carry on with that series, but it's not necessarily my first priority because I didn't love the first 2. I think I just need to push through the next one and then I think it gets better from there. But I've had a bit of a break from that series. Anyway, the idea of reading this is that because it's separate, it can like kind of convince me to go back and read her old books if I really enjoy this one. Beautiful cover. I also do have an audiobook of this coming in November, like early November from the library. So again, this will probably be a November read because I don't really want to hold this. I think it would give me wrist pain. So the next stack are books that have nothing to do with this season. We do have another stack of books that I think are actually more fall, autumn coded. This quick stack I'm going to run through now, these aren't anything to do with it. They're just books that I want to read and it just so happens that it's currently autumn. Does that make sense? I just need to get this over and done with. I have started this. I started it a while ago. I'm on page 41. The writing is painful, but everyone loves this book. So I feel like I need to give it another go. I need to properly sit down and try and get into this. If I still don't love it, then I will DNF. But it's haunting me, like it's just staring at me all the time. So even though this has nothing to do with autumn at all, I'm sick of looking at it with this little bookmark sticking out. So I just need to give this a go and decide if I'm going to read it or if I'm going to DNF. Next one, Talk Bookish to Me. This is from my list of books I need to read before the end of the year. Just a cute little romance, but I've just never got round to it because it just doesn't speak to me, you know? It doesn't jump out at me. It's not giving like, I don't know. It's not that I think I won't like it, but I've just got a feeling it's going to be like a 3-star. And there's so many books I own that I'm so excited about, but if I've not read it by the end of the year, it's going, so I at least want to give it a go because you never know, it could be a hidden gem. Fangirl, from that same list. I think I've probably outgrown this now, but I was very excited to read this when I was about 15. I've owned this book for years and just for some reason never got around to it. So you never know, maybe it'll be good on the basis of nostalgia. It's like a YA kind of book, by the way. Cat's Cradle by Kurt Vonnegut. I have started this. I'm not obsessed with it, but I'm only, how many pages? Only 24 pages in, so I feel like I need to give it a bit more of a go. I do like Kurt Vonnegut as an author. I like his writing. I'm just not sure this specific book is my taste, but I am going to give it another go. The Devil Wears Prada. I'm just going to group the next 3 together. The Devil Wears Prada, Hamnet and Champion. These are all books that I started either earlier in the year or last year. And again, I'm just sick of looking at them now with like having read a few pages of them. So I'm going to give these all another go. Hamnet I feel like could relate a little bit to this time of year. It had quite a melancholy tone. So this could be good to curl up and read on like a rainy weekend day. The other 2, nothing to do with the season. I'm obsessed with the film version of this, but I was finding the book a little bit annoying. This, I hate Day. I hate him so much. So I'm going to try and read those 3 and make a decision whether or not I'm going to DNF them. The next book I'm so excited about. I'm so excited about this book. It's actually a sick joke. Daydream by Hannah Grace. Again, I don't think this has anything to do with the season. I mean, she is wearing a cardigan, so maybe it's a bit chilly. But I'm just so excited about this. I'm obsessed with Icebreaker, love Wildfire, and she's wearing a Taylor Swift cardigan. What more can we say about that? So excited about that one. And then the last stack of books before I quickly run through the Kindle ones. What have I actually done with my phone that has the Kindle list on? Oh, it's on the floor. That's fine. The last stack of physical books are a mix of genres, but that I feel like fit the season a bit more. So the first one is My Dark Vanessa. This is a very sad book from what I've heard. Very hard hitting, very sad. So again, I feel like I don't want to read this in the summer. I don't feel like I would get the full effect of it. I feel like, again, this is a book I need to read on like a rainy, cosy Sunday and just sit and like read it all in one go and like really absorb the story and the emotions of it. So I don't think it's like set in the autumn or anything. I just feel like I would get the most out of it reading it at this time of year. What's this called? Look at my face. I've literally got glasses on. I think I need to go to the opticians. Anyway, the Mysterious Affair at Styles by Agatha Christie. I've never read an Agatha Christie, and I think what better time of year to read like a mystery book than autumn. The Inheritance Games, I can't believe I still haven't read this. I've been excited about this for years. It's just one of those books that I don't know why I haven't read it. There's no reason that I haven't read this. I am excited about it. I really think I'll like it. I've discovered recently that I really do like books that have some element of like a game or something like that in them. So I think I will love this. And again, I don't know, I just feel like it fits this time of year, like the mystery side of it. So yeah, I'm very excited to read this one. After Love, this is a romance between a girl and then another girl who's dead. So again, this might be like a good October, Halloween time kind of read, because it's going to have like spooky vibes, because I'm sure one of them is dead. Yes. Oh yes, lots of dead people. Sounds good for October. The next one, oh, I was going to say I put it in the wrong pile. No, I was just delusional. Out on a Limb by Hannah Bonham Young. I put it in this pile because she's wearing a jumper and they're like cozied up on the sofa. So I feel like that gives autumn, doesn't it? I mean, it's probably a bit of a stretch. But I've heard amazing things about this book. So, again, very excited to read this one. I feel like I've been so boring and repetitive in this video. I promise it's nearly over. Taming 7 by Chloe Walsh. Again, this is more of like an emotional thing that I don't think I'd get the most out of this kind of book, reading it in like a happy beach vibe kind of time. I feel like it's better to read this when I can properly cozy up with it and just absorb it. I'm obsessed with this series. I adore, I was going to say every single character. I don't like Lizzie. And I don't like Claire's brother. But other than that, I love everyone else. There's probably other people I'm forgetting that I don't like. Obviously, I don't like Shannon's dad, obviously. But I mean of like the main teenage group. Just obsessed with this series, adore it. The only reason I haven't read this is because I can't bear to read it and then have no books left in the series to read. I know it's not finished yet, but this is the most recent one that has come out. And I don't like the idea of not looking forward to reading it. Does that make sense? But I am going to read it soon. I think the time has come. I have a physical copy and an audiobook, so I have no excuse. And then the last physical book is What Happens After Midnight. So again, this has like the game theme in it. It's like it's about like pranks and games and stuff. And it's set, is it a boarding school or just, yeah, a boarding school. And if you look at the cover, it looks quite like spooky. It's got orange on the cover and purple. Right, that's all the physical books. And then I have a few books that I only own copies of on my Kindle that I also want to read. This is so delusional, but anyway. So the first one is, I don't actually own a Kindle copy. I'm going to listen to this on audio on Spotify. The Dead Romantics by Ashley Poston. I might do a video actually where I read like The Dead Romantics, After Love, and maybe choose like another, I don't know, maybe like the Agatha Christie one. Or Inheritance Games. I don't know. I might do like a little October spooky-ish. Well, I don't know, because Inheritance Games isn't spooky. Maybe I need to find another spooky book. Anyway, The Dead Romantics is, I don't know, it just feels like an October read. I really enjoyed The 7 Year Slip. I haven't read her newest release yet because I kind of want to go back and read The Dead Romantics first before I read a novel love story. The next one is the tandem read of, what is it? The Throne of Glass tandem read. Tower of Dawn. And oh my god, what's the Empire of Storms? I think. I have those on my Kindle ready to read. I'm intimidated by them, but I do ideally want to finish the Throne of Glass series before the end of the year. So I feel like I just need to get on with it. Just need to get an absolute move on. And then the last one is the Caraval trilogy. Oh cool, I just dropped my phone on the floor. Anyway, I don't know if you've seen in other videos, you can't see them now. I own the most beautiful physical copies of the Once Upon a Broken Heart trilogy, but something in my head will not let me read them until I've read the Caraval trilogy. And I am excited for Caraval, to be fair. I think it sounds like my kind of, I don't know, I have a few different tastes in fantasy, but I love The Night Circus, and Caraval gives like similar-ish. I don't want to say similar vibes because The Night Circus is an adult fantasy. I don't think the stories are the same, but the vibes feel the same. Does that make sense? I don't know. Anyway, I'm excited to read Caraval. I'll probably read that one quite soon as well. I've said that about a lot of books. But yeah, that is my autumn/fall TBR. There's not many like fall romances in here because I don't have the best luck with them. I've already read like the Pumpkin Spice Cafe and those kinds of books, and I just don't tend to love them that much. I feel like some of them focus too much on fall and then everything else falls flat. But yeah, these are all the books that I delusionally want to read in the next approximately 2.5 months. Let's see how many of them I actually manage to get to. Spoiler alert, it won't be all of them. But anyway, thank you so much for watching this video. Please give it a thumbs up down below if you enjoyed, subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you in my next one. Bye!